What up guys, it's your boy Raptac. In this video we're going to be going over the 3 best operators in Shatterline for PvE. This is of course a video based on an educated opinion, and I will quickly discuss as to why I believe each one of these operators deserve the rankings I've given each one of them. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section below, and I will get back to you. And if you'd like to see more Shatterline videos, give your boy a sub and or check out other videos I've posted on it and let me know what you think. Now without any further ado, let's get right into it. In third place, we've got Brisa. Some of you may be a little surprised to see Brisa ranked up so highly in PvE, and I will explain to you as to why Brisa is such a great pick for anyone to use in PvE. First, let's talk about her abilities. Starting off, there is the choice between the Glass Mine and the Shock Charge, assuming you're level 8. Putting it bluntly, neither one of these choices are really that great, but I always opt in for the Shock Charge. With the Shock Charge, you can place these where the opponents spawn, and it will deal a decent amount of damage to any AI that passes near it. The Glass Mine is a little more useful when dealing with elites, because they stun them and you're able to shoot them as they're stun locked essentially. But realistically, neither one of these two choices are really that amazing, if I'm being real with you. But they are not what makes Brisa such a decent pick for Expedition mode. What makes Brisa such a decent operator are her other abilities as well as her passive ability. Her other ability is the Tactical Cloak. The Tactical Cloak is a lot better than people give it credit for. Granted, it's garbage in PvP in my opinion, but in PvE it's the second strongest defensive ability, only losing to the Medbot from Pill. The Tactical Cloak allows you to go completely invisible in the NPC's eyes. They completely ignore you and stop attacking you altogether, which can essentially be used for one of two things. Either one, you use it to take cover to allow yourself to recover, or you can use the Tactical Cloak and use it to revive a teammate. And the latter is the reason why I think this ability is so insanely strong. Essentially, every time you use the Tactical Cloak, you are guaranteed a free revive on your teammates if you choose to do so, which makes it an incredibly strong defensive tool when playing PvE. Then there's her ultimate. Her ultimate is one of the strongest burst damages in the game. Also, I'm not exactly sure why, but it completely obliterates the Stilt's shield. I get the impression that the Stilt's shield takes extra damage from explosives and other effects that are just not bullets. I think her ultimate is one of the strongest offensive ultimates for PvE and PvP as well, which makes her one of the strongest defensive abilities in the game, as well as one of the strongest offensive ultimates in the game. Usually, if number 1 and number 2 from this list are already picked by my teammates, then I'm almost always surely going to be picking Brisa for her nice balance between offensive and defensive tools. Oh, and also, Brisa is a recon character, which means if Kite is not being played on your team, then you can fill in the role of a high climber and be able to give your team those loot boxes and Neko Cats that are difficult to reach if you don't have a recon operator on your team. Second place, Kite. The picks between second place and first place were very difficult for me. However, I find Kite to be the perfect pick for second place. I'll put it simply. Kite's main reason to be ranked so highly on the list for best operators for PvE is because of his mine. His mine is simply fantastic for PvE. His mine can one-shot encounters, can destroy horde spawns, can do massive amount of damage to bosses and elites, and others. It's in my opinion by far the strongest offensive ability in the game. His mine can also open destructible doors and lock doors. And since Kite is a recon character, he can also climb to high places and reach those loot boxes and Neko Cats that other characters can't. So, in other words, if you have a Kite on your team, you can reach every hidden loot box and Neko Cats in the game. His other ability is the Glass Wall Grenade, which I won't waste too much time on. It doesn't have much of a use in PvE, You can use it to create a headshot angle to help you fight ranged units, but you won't be getting much value out of this ability. And lastly, there's his ultimate. His ultimate's good. It's not the best offensive ultimate out there, but it's pretty decent damage. Either way, the reason Kite is ranked so highly in this list is because of his mine and its capability to obliterate encounters and hordes and so many other things. His toolkit is really good, but the mine is what truly shines. But now we're gonna go over the best operator for PvE. For first place, we've got Pill. Pill is absolutely insane for PvE. Now, why is this so great for PvE? Well, for starters, his entire toolkit is overpowered. Let me explain why. Starting off, there's the Stasis Field Grenade. This grenade freezes the AI completely. They stay frozen for several seconds, which makes it both an amazing defensive and an offensive tool. It's fantastic for freezing elites and blasting their weak points, as well as freezing enemies who are right on top of you doing damage to you, giving you space to run and recover. He's also got the greatest defensive ability in the game, which I mentioned earlier, the Medbot. The Medbot can always revive a teammate for free. The AI does not seem to care much about the Medbot and always allows it to get a free revive, which makes it extremely powerful. Outright overpowered if you ask me. And if you combine the Medbot with the perk Feedback Loop, you can basically spam out these Medbots, making your team almost immortal. There is simply no greater defensive tool than the Medbot. Then there's his ultimate, which bolsters a whole 25 shots, which allows you to get more kills than most other ultimates in this game, and is great for blasting the bosses. So his entire toolkit is just fantastic from start to finish, and makes him an operator your team should always have to make the runs dramatically easier. And that is it for this quick video on the 3 best operators for PvE. Do you agree with this list? Let me know in the comment section below what you think and I'll get back to you. And don't forget to sub if you want to see more Shatterline content, which I intend to release several times a week. And that's it. Peace out, guys.